Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is our new series about flipping cars. We are gonna flip $2,000 into a McLaren. This is the first car in our series. This is a 2003 BMW 330 Xi, manual transmission, red with tan interior. Now, is it beat up? Yes, it's totally beat up, but we're gonna show you how to just clean it up and make it better and turn this $1,000 car into a $3,500 car for under $2,000. Then we're gonna take it and we're gonna resell it. Steve, you ready to get to work?
Absolutely.
You may remember I bought this car at a tow auction. It had some bad suspension damage. I paid $1,000 for it. I've already fixed the suspension damage. Well, the guys did for me. One strut was bent, one lower control arm was bent, and a rear lower control arm was bent. Those parts cost me right at $400. The tow to get it here was $175. Today, Steve's gonna do a valve cover gasket, a center support carrier bearing, and a rear window regulator. Those parts are costing me right at $200. So we're gonna be in this car $1,775, $225 under budget. So that's our starting point. Steve's gonna get to work.
We got the block off here the way it's supposed to be. People get these cold air intakes and they basically turn into hot air intakes because they don't have the correct sheathing to keep the engine bay heat away from the filter, but it's got all that there, so somebody spent some money on that. And it's got a nice underdrive pulley here on the water pump.
What's the difference between a normal pulley and an underdrive pulley?
This pulley is just going to basically draw less parasitic drag, make the motor rev up a little bit faster, use less power to do the same thing because the diameter of the pulley is different, so it's not working as hard.
That's a fast way to say it. Less resistance, more RPMs.
More RPMs. So E46 is actually one of the more reliable BMWs from an era. One thing BMW can do probably better than anyone in existence, and I mean that, this is looking at Toyota, this is looking at Jaguar, is they can make a straight six engine. BMW straight sixes, best in the world. Not a huge BMW fan, but they make the best. And this was an era when they updated this engine from an older style, and it was great, you know. A couple of leaks, common things like that, you know, got a valve cover gasket. You can have some leaks from the oil filter cap, oil pan gasket, a couple of minor things, like minor as far as, you know, the way that these cars were made. I mean, the maintenance on it's gonna be pretty easy to do. It was a great era, a great year. Looks good, looks timeless. It's a manual transmission and it's X-Drive. So, you know, BMW, great rear-wheel drive cars. We live in the Northwest. The X-Drive is definitely appreciated, not just for the snow, but the rain, the wet roads. So somebody who gets this car is really gonna have something that looks really good, looks really clean, seats forward comfortably, and is fun to drive and safer. So this is a pretty good win. I mean, you don't see too many X-Drives that are manual. You don't see too many manuals that are X-Drive. I said the same thing backwards.
When I was at the auction, everybody kept saying, oh, that thing has a blown head gasket. That thing has a blown head gasket. It doesn't. These cars just tend to build up moisture and condensation up around the very top of the valve cover there, and it just gets trapped there. When we changed the oil, there was not one bit of condensation in it, and it doesn't overheat. And it sucks I'm gonna miss next weekend's tow auction. They got some good stuff coming through. They got a newer CLS than mine. It's got a matte black wrap and black rims, a couple of Harleys, a bunch of stuff. But I'm gonna go to SummerCon instead and meet a bunch of old wrestlers and get autographs.
I guess. Looks pretty juicy. Got a little build up here, a little build up. Not the worst that I've seen.
I was mentioning about the moisture buildup. You can see it's all trapped up at top here, all around here. And if you look down in the actual cylinder head, there's no moisture in the oil, just where this was sitting.
Somebody was very generous with the silicone.
Well, you know, it's always easier to just pull the cover off, slather it with silicone, than replacing the gasket. Reuse the original OE stuff as much as possible.
You know, this is really clean under here. Like, aside from the Vanos unit, all the spots in the cam, like I can read the words on it.
Yeah.
I can read the BMW symbol. It's not uncommon to see something from this era and it just hasn't been taken care of, and this is really sludgy and you can't see it. This is pretty clean.
You want to guess the mileage on this car? Because I don't think I told you.
What is it?
250,000 miles.
Oh, jeez.
250,000 miles on this car. In today's world, what used to be a $500 car is now a $2,000 car. And 250,000 miles, as high as it is, for $3,500, that's what you get.
This is a good unit though. This is a good era for BMW. So long life, long motors. This is the era, so I'm kind of not surprised at the mileage because, you know, if you keep oil in them, you take care of them, this era is pretty good. Basic stuff, you know, it looks pretty good.
I don't think I've opened the trunk on this car.
Oh, there could be all kinds of treasures in there.
Could be a key to a treasure chest in Mexico, like the Bentley.
Whoa, it looks like you got yourself a free key.
No, you got
free house. Oh, dude, this is definitely a key to like some vault with like lots of money in it. And it's got some writing on it in Spanish. You better hold on to that. That definitely goes to something on the other side of the border, huh? Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Santo Cristo, huh? You want that?
It has a key release, but I already started the car, so.
Oh, that's okay. I still got the jump box set up. There could be all kinds of treasures in here.
All right, you ready? Nothing.
Well, we don't know yet.
Got oil filter, a couple air fresheners. Your battery looks like it might come back. 12 of 23, it might come back.
Yeah. What about underneath here? There might be, I don't know.
It might be cocaine. Oh,
Bags of stuff. Oh boy. Oh, I know what this is.
we got I told you twice. I'm not gonna tell you a third time.
I know exactly what this is.
Oh, this is where the money is, right
Oh boy, those are vintage.
here. It's your size.
Yeah.
Like, I believe this would fit you.
That definitely belongs to a missing person or a murder victim.
This is evidence.
That's clearly evidence. There is an old shoe in a bag. That's evidence. Rain, oh, that means they tried to fix something. What they trying to fix?
Ugh,
Oh boy.
it's like Christmas.
Oh,
Blower motor resistor or butt plug. I'm not sure. So.
I think the treasures you find if you just look a little bit further.
I
We
bet.
just solved a mystery and we got free parts.
I bet we got a blower motor that doesn't work. You can see when you get in the car. I'll throw away the evidence for them.
So I'm guessing that this explains why there's an underdrive pulley on it. This is basically just a belt tensioning tool. A lot of drive belt tensioners have like a 3/8 drive opening spot where you put it in and you've got to pull it like this to relieve the tension to get the belt off. It's basically meant for that, to give you leverage to do drive belts on cars with automatic tensioners. You should sell these parts to increase the budget like people do on a 2002 challenge.
What is this, a belt tensioner tool?
Yeah,
Is it got any gas in it?
got a dancer here.
Idle's kind of fluctuating. Well, why don't you guys go for a drive, see what you think of it.
Let's see if we can make this light magically go away. Oh, and like magic, it's
How did
gone.
you do that? Traction control.
Magic. So BMWs of this era, when the battery is dead or it needs to be jumped, there is a steering angle initialization procedure that you can go into the computer and do. However, with this era, what you can do is you actually sit still and you give the car full lock-to-lock turns, and somewhere within that procedure, it relearns on its own. Kind of a cool thing. All right, we got AC. We don't need that because it's not really that cold. We will drive it and see what's going on, see if that hiccup goes away. This car probably needs spark plugs, or it just might be all the rush of air that's coming in from that intake. The car just can't handle it and maybe it needs a fuel pump. All right, let's go see what we got. Oh, we got presents up here, man. Oh man, What do we got here? I don't know if we can show this. This might have information on it. My boy likes his tickets.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah, Kirkland Municipal Court. He's got plenty of tickets.
Well, you know, this car was an impound. Oh, it's a title. It's the actual title in the car? Oh, man. Sweet. This saves me so much hassle. I bought it at a tow impound, and so I would have to register it to my company and then wait for the title and then resell it. But with this title in the car and signed, I'm good to go.
After you pay all these parking tickets, of course.
Oh, no. No, they don't do that in Washington.
Oh, sweet.
They do that in places like California and
Yes,
Michigan.
they do.
Washington, they don't withhold registration for parking tickets.
All right. Straighten out there. That pop, what we don't want it to do is we don't want it to pop from the rear in a very specific way, because E46s were known for having subframe issues in the rear. Look at that pop. It's got good power though, let me tell you. Differential bushings are known to wear out and you can get that thunk. I don't remember seeing anything that looked cracked on the subframe. I looked at it briefly. There is a bushing back here that I think might be bad because there is a pronounced clunk. If you kind of take your foot off the gas and then give it gas, you get this clunk, clunk. So I just wanted to kind of take a peek in the back and see. I thought I looked at it. There's like two bushings that just sit on the diff.
Was it noticeable because we're mechanics, or was it noticeable because it's a problem?
I heard it pop like something in the back seat was rolling around. As far as driving though, it drove great. I think what we have here is subframe bushings that are worn just enough, because if you look up here, top of the diff, there's a bunch of witness marks where that top is hitting right there. So I bet what's happening is that the subframe bushings are worn just enough, especially here, that when you give it gas, when you're engine braking, this flexes just enough to hit that. Because they kind of suck to do, and I don't think it's a safety issue, it's more of an annoyance because it's not coming off, I'd probably leave it alone.
We are going to leave it alone. That's something that the buyer, if they want to pay us to fix it, it can. But we have to stick firmly to our budget. And remember, this video series, I'm trying to do it in a way that anybody can do at home flipping cars. And doing these bushings for just the 30 or 40 bucks the bushings cost with all this labor, that's not something anybody can do at home. And this is a budget car. It's $3,500, so it's not going to be perfect. And you have a good example or a good point that it's not a safety issue, it's not a danger. We can be upfront about it, we can tell them what it is, but it's not getting fixed for this particular car. If this was a car that I was putting on the car lot and I was gonna have it painted and everything, you know, that ask $8 grand for it, then I would do it. But the $3,500 asking price, that's just not happening. But all that's left that we're gonna do now at this point is put motor mounts on it, put that other fender on it, and sell it. Except for I might lower the front end a little bit, it's sitting a little higher than I like. If I could wax up this flat stuff where the clear coat's peeling. All right, keeping in budget. This fender, I forgot to include this. This fender was 50 bucks. I got it from B&R Auto Wrecking, it's red. Clear coat is peeling, right? So as you can see where the clear coat comes off, the red paint is just dull underneath. Now, a body shop would charge us a couple $100, a few $100 to refinish this red. But what I'm gonna do is use a polish on the dull red. That dull red just blends right in. And perfect? No, but better, yes. Well, all in, it took us about total with doing the suspension, which you didn't see today, I think about 5 hours on everything, the suspension, the alignment, the fender, everything that it took basically to get this car ready to sell at $3,500. Steve, you did a great job today. I really appreciate the work.
This is a nice car. I think whoever gets this will be pleasantly surprised, unless they're just a fan of E46 and they know that this is a good car.
I agree with that. So we're gonna take this, I'm gonna get it listed, I'm gonna get some pictures right now, get it listed up on Marketplace, and it'll be sold this coming week, and hopefully I'll have another car by next week to step up that $3,500 into. And we'll just gradually keep doing this. We're about 1% of the way to my McLaren right now. But, you know, 1%, better than none. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day, everybody.